making me read the whole article when you're just blaming the fans anyway at the end. Of course she is. It's that Kotaku writer that we're talking about on this one, and all the Acolyte stuff. I am Mecca. Please subscribe to this channel. Share these videos if you like, you know, the ramblings, and whatever else you might like about this channel. I don't know. You tell me. Now, okay. Kotaku, blame modern TV for Star Wars. Blame modern TV fans. I should say blame modern TV fans for the Acolyte's cancellation, because you know it's in there. Who wrote this? Alyssa Mercante. Again, who is she? I don't care. But if you really care, she's been arguing with people on Twitter who talk about articles that she writes that blame fans. Because why? She makes a lot more money writing there saying fans suck and they're all a bunch of istophobes and blah, 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 than we do calling out the articles, or at least than I do. And now we're kind of sneaking in and being like, hey, we can read your articles because we have personalities.
You can call me Nannerpuss.
And things.
Guess what?
I
love pancakes.
Sometimes when I don't flub up the words, when I don't... Blame modern TV and TV audiences for Star Wars' The Acolyte cancellation. The Acolyte, remember that one? The space witches and the power of 2x2 and... So between the bad writing, the bad press, oh, they were doing the gayest Star Wars ever. Remember that one? Is the gayest Star Wars ever. Making the gayest, the wokest... Angering right-wing critics. Oh, they're making it all political. This is the same article. That's the same article. The gayest Star Wars ever. They like saying that. After an abysmal, the ultra woke, pretend it didn't happen. Oh, is that bad? Sky News Australia. Pretend it didn't happen. Disney Plus is pulling the plug on ultra woke Star Wars spinoff The Acolyte after an abysmal single season. They have been using this antagonistic marketing of trying to play off the sidesies. You know, the people who've been complaining about Star Wars being bad for this whole time, and the people mocking the fact that we're still complaining about how bad Star Wars is. So I can see the ridiculousness in it in all sides at this point. Let's see what she has to say. So yeah, this is the one I've been arguing with people on Twitter, and people have been making a lot of videos on her. I think I made one, maybe. I couldn't tell you. If I did, I probably will link it here. If not, somebody will. Please watch that. The Acolyte, she says, it wasn't perfect, but it did break a new narrative ground in Star Wars. Extinction! The space witches, the lesbian space witches in space. Extinction! It's dared to reevaluate decades-old tropes and unpack the flaws of the Jedi Order. It was just there to kind of appeal to this younger Gen Z audience who wanted to watch this guy take his shirt off.
It's justified.
And wanted to see a younger crowd flinging themselves through Star Wars. Through Star Wars, I think. Through Star Wars. It made a bunch of ridiculous press. Like, one character couldn't even tell the difference between Luke and Anakin. He thinks Anakin Skywalker blew up the Death Star, this guy.
How Darth Vader is such a bad person, it's very clear, and it's very well established from those actions. But if you can't look and see that Anakin blowing up the Death Star possibly killed millions and millions of people, I'm gonna get in trouble for saying this. I did get in trouble for this answer. But if you can't look and see that Anakin blowing up the Death Star possibly killed millions and millions of people, I'm gonna get in trouble for saying this.
Yeah, because what... Yeah. All right. He didn't write it, but they are marketing this with what's her name twerking at us. Amandala somebody. I'm pulling that up. She rage twerked at us. She rage twerked. This one. Oh yeah, she had the twerking video. I remember this. And then that's Star Wars now. That's Star Wars now. That am Star Wars now. So that's Star Wars and how they're marketing this to the fan base of Star Wars fans who like Star Wars. They like that. Here's where she blames the fans. Here's where she blames the fans down here. It's at the very, very tail end. She goes on to say, oh, it's all diverse, and with the diversity and this lesbian space witches.
And then
The biggest thing she does say is they're trying to play on the nostalgia, which is true. I absolutely 100% agree with this. They're trying too much to play on the nostalgia of our remembrance of Star Wars. Oh yeah, we like this. Oh yeah, we like this. But it's nothing like the Star Wars we remember, is it? There's nothing like that in this. Oh, 180 million for 8 episodes? They spent 180 million. It looks like they spent 20 million on it, including cast. House of the Dragon, 20 million an episode. It looks cheaper. It looks cheaper. Like this Acolyte. Here's where she blames everybody. Here's where she blames and implies and implants this idea that these are the things that are wrong with the show. And you know what? The lesbian space witches, that was pretty cringe and weird. And why? Why?
and then
What? I mean, that's Star Wars too. That's Star Wars. Witches in space. Witches in space who create evil force babies.
the gift of life.
Specific set of fans are notoriously resistant to perceived changes to lore or the centering of marginalized folks in Star Wars media. Is it us or is it you guys? Is it us or is it the media itself? All right, because what is Disney doing? Like, okay, Star Wars fan aside, media analyst Mecca coming in. What are we seeing? They're pandering and blaming us. They're blaming. Oh no. This is what they're doing. They're trying to break up with their own fan base to go and find some other fan base. But it's not there either. There is no fan base. It's the same song and dance again. The specific set of fans are notoriously resistant to perceived changes to lore. I don't like the fact that you just recycle the same movies over and over again and just change it to be a woman. You know what you do? You know what you're doing. This is what you're doing.
Put a chick in it, make her gay.
Literally. You literally did that. We already had force babies. So do you really need now just a new version of it? If I were just a woman, if they were coming in and just swapping it out, just to quote unquote,
Put a chick in it, make her gay.
and then run articles saying, but from the jump, run by a woman with a black, non-binary lead, lesbian witches, and a blistering take on the flaws of the Jedi. It became did you not think that maybe you're the one who made all of these lesbian reverse women of diversity the most biggest screw-ups on the galaxy? And you're showcasing how incompetent they are. Maybe you freaking did not realize that, Leslye Headland. Maybe, or whoever's writing this article, Alyssa Mercante. Maybe that's the problem. Maybe that's the problem. They spoke out against the racist backlash. Did anybody say that they didn't like her because of the color of her skin? I said I didn't know how to tell the characters apart because they both looked exactly alike and acted the same. And sometimes they had different clothes, but you couldn't tell which was which. Which witch was which. They kept jumping back and forth through time. It was so poorly written you couldn't even riff it. And I'm mad now. Unfortunately, in an age where modern television series are defined by their big price tags and hopefully bigger viewer numbers, a show like Acolyte had an almost unsurmountable feat in front of it in order to ensure its survival. If its mere existence hadn't been used as a catalyst for conversations about wokeism in Star Wars, that's the media's fault, isn't it? That's the media's fault and the showrunner for making that the focal point. Maybe don't make that the focal point of your thing by coming out and going, hey, it's the gayest one yet. Where is that article? I think I lost that. That was the Forbes one. The gayest Star Wars yet. That's how that the creators are saying that. Be like, yeah, but what about Ewoks and you know, just pew pew and Han shot first? What about that's Star Wars to most people? That's Star Wars to most people. Han shot first. Luke Skywalker. Luke, I'm your father, even though the line's wrong. That's Star Wars. Not a series about lesbian space witches. For crying out loud. And the fact that you go in and you just write these antagonistic articles time and time again, and you wonder why. And now they've got the nerve, the people, like the 3 fans of this that they have, and their 5 burners are trying to get Kathleen Kennedy fired because she didn't allow the series to continue. I don't know, maybe stop using diversities as cannon fodder in your ever ending struggle, tug of war with them is what it seems like. It seems like they're just trying to take ownership of y'all. Even to dropping a song that seems to reference the hate lobbed at them. Yeah, she dropped a song. Yeah, that twerking thing. She did the twerking thing. At people who didn't like stuff. She did the twerking thing. She twerked at us. Okay? Your point? I am Mecca. I don't get your point. Stop blaming the audiences when you make stupid crap to make a stupid statement that nobody wants to hear anymore. We're tired of it. We're tired of hearing how we can change the world from the bottom to... How about you? Leslye? Why don't you change the world, for crying out loud? You're the one with all the money from... You got $180 million for this thing. Why don't you change the world? Stop leaving it up to the fan base who is just showing up for a thing. I am sick to death of that. You start from the top up. If you want us to change, you start with yourself. I am Becca, and I am going back to my day. Do-do-do, do-do-do-do, do-do-do, do-do-do-do, do-do-do.